things will never be the same. Because now, two great buildings that symbolize the economics of the world are down. The Pentagon, that represents the greatest military force ever in history, is damaged. And I think we'll find out that it has something to do. I believe this is the same day in which we signed the peace accord a few years ago, the Camp David Accords. I'm checking that out now.
Right.
But I believe it, it's part of the ongoing struggle for the city of Jerusalem and the differences that exist there among the people, and it's just carried out around the world.
Now, of course, as you say, the story is currently unfolding as we speak. Apparently, there is a fourth aeroplane out there, and we're not sure where it's going yet, but time will tell. But some have said today to us, Claude, that this could very well be one of the catalysts, if not the catalyst, that could really
one world government,
that could usher all of the democracies of the world today to say we need to really get together.
Well, you're going to watch this now, and I will tell you this: this is the beginning of a certain decline of the United States of America. The center of the world attention, in my opinion, will move back to Europe, to where you are,
set the stage,
and to the old Roman Empire. Will be revised again, but they will use this already. On the television, they're saying we must tighten security.
Yeah.
We must do this, and they don't even know what happened yet. You understand?
Correct.
Yes.
They're already saying we've got to cut down individual rights.
Yes.
To keep this from ever happening again before we even know what happened.
And that's amazing, Claude, because we've just watched Tony Blair, and really he was immediately saying exactly the same kind of thing, the same message.
And that's the way it always is. An emergency, a legitimate emergency, is always used to promote agendas.
Correct.
Of the Antichrist.
Which indeed will restrict our freedom.
Right. Now, for instance, a local news commentator was talking about we must tighten security at airports. We don't even know what brought these planes down.
Yeah.
And we're already cutting down individual rights. So no question that this is a great opportunity for the next phase of Bible prophecy to take place, moving toward a one-world government where one person can manage the world's problems.
I mean, it is, as you say, from 9 a.m. this morning, it'll never be the same again.
Never be the same.
Never be the same.
When we watch those two towers that symbolize the ultimate, that was the giant...
It was almost like Revelation, wasn't it, with Babylon, great Babylon.
I tell you what it was. It was Goliath falling down. Not that the World Trade Center was evil, not that the city of New York is evil, but it's a symbolic thing.
Yeah.
The giant has fallen.
Things you've been following the developments and the unfolding of world history in terms of the prophetic. You've also probably been criticized more than most in terms of some of your radical viewpoints. But Wendy and I wanted to call you up in New Zealand and say, what does this mean to you? To see the world, just to see the World Trade Center disappear from New York skyline. This morning it was there, but tonight it doesn't exist anymore.
What do you think, Barry, from God's perspective?
I immediately told my wife that we must remember what God showed David Wilkerson. He said, I've been woken night after night showing an attack on New York. And that's the first thing that struck my mind.
Yeah, that's amazing, because Rory, I was talking to Rory earlier, Barry, and I said, David Wilkerson, in a sense, was persecuted for his visions about New York, and now you've brought it up, because he had such strong premonitions.
He did.
That's right.
You would actually see it in vision form, I believe.
Yeah.
And the true test of a prophet is, from Deuteronomy chapter 18, if what he says comes right, then he's of God.
Yes.
Right.
Very clearly.
Now, Barry, you've talked about the World Trade Center, you've talked about global power, the shifting of power, you talked about third world debt, and there's this whole scenario that's unfolding. Does today's events have any impact on that?
Yes, I've been watching for next month the New World Order, this world government they're setting up, they used the analogy of the building of a house. The foundation was the Illuminati, 1776. The framework was New Zealand, 1987, where they restructured. And it's interesting that Tony Blair is now following the New Zealand plan. He was just getting ready to do it, to privatise your health and privatise your education. That was the first thing they did in New Zealand, 1987.
Right.
Tony Blair is following the same plan. Then they brought in the Y2K bug, which was the electrician They synchronise computers worldwide.
Everyone thought there was going to be a crash of computers, but indeed nothing really happened, or was that not the case?
They spent billions of dollars to synchronise computers worldwide. They never told us why they were doing it, but now we understand. I've written an article on this, that they synchronised the computers through fear. Even poor countries agreed to go ahead and do it. And now, a man called John Koskaken in America, in charge of 25 task forces, made the statement, we can now run the world with 4 people. The reason is they moved into an electronic new world order through the Y2K problem. All they needed now was the roof on the house, which was the money crash, starting with New York. And I was waiting for next month, actually. I could see the Japanese money has gone down to almost bankruptcy. They've cut down your stock exchange, I believe. They've cancelled it for a time being. The New York one was going down and down. The interest rates have been cut over 7 times this year. And I was looking forward to next month to see whether they were going to cancel it, because they always crash the stock market in America in the month of October, normally on a Monday or a Friday. Just that this thing has happened a little bit more quickly than I thought. And also we've been watching for a Middle East war. So who knows what will come out of all this. It all seems to be happening at once.